President Trump has paused all immigrant visa interviews at consulates all over the world. So there are thousands of people at these consulates and embassies all over the world that had a scheduled interview to get their immigrant visa. An immigrant visa is basically legal permanent residence. If you have it, the moment that you arrive in the United States with it, they give you a green card. That's what an immigrant visa is. I should mention that non-immigrant visas like tourist visas and student visas, they're not being effective. They're still having interviews. But the thousands of people that have been waiting years sometimes to get one of these immigrant visas that allows them to come in and get a green card, all of them have been paused. Some of them left the country from the United States to go to their abroad appointment, and they booked hotels. They booked time away from their job. Some of them traveled within country, like somebody that lives in Mexico had to travel to Ciudad Juarez within Mexico. Flights, all of this is now having to be delayed, and there will be no compensation for it. And this affects every country in the world. There are no appointments that are being processed right now. Everybody is just placed on delay, waiting for what's going on right now, which is new instructions to the consular officers. So, the justification for this universal global pause is the Trump administration thinks that the consular officers need retraining or new training into the new public charge analysis that has to happen. So, starting September 18th, there will be a new public charge analysis that basically will say that you cannot be allowed a green card, you cannot be allowed into the United States if the government thinks that you're going to depend on welfare or on certain means tested benefits. That has always existed in the past, except the new regulations are going to make it a little bit more stricter. And the Trump administration thinks that consular officers need better training in order to basically deny everybody that they suspect is going to be a public charge. More than likely, that's the issue. In order to get this training, they've paused all immigrant visa issuances to make sure that future immigrant visas that are issued do comply with this public charge analysis. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, what if they sue? What if they sue for all the lost time, hotel stays, and flights that they've now implemented? They're right now abroad, just living in a hotel. They can't because of a few reasons. One, the DS-260 that makes this appointment is not a contract. It's considered a regulatory procedure. Because it's not a contract, the only thing you can rely on is a concept called promissory estoppel, that you detrimentally relied on a promise from the government. However, the government has placed a lot of notices on their travel.state.gov website that basically disclaims all of this. It says that you should not buy a permanent plane ticket or make any long-term stay plans or anything while this is ongoing. And also, 28 USC 2680 creates an exception for any causes of action that occurred abroad. That's the Federal Tort Claim Act. It's an exception to it. So, for that reason, there's very little chance that anybody will ever see any money out of this. Thanks for listening. If you want to see more on this, go to The Migration on Substack.